So let's look at somewhere where they're actually able to maintain stability in their currency. Somalia's mighty shilling, hard to kill. A currency issued in the name of a central bank that no longer exists. Use of a paper currency is normally taken to be an expression of faith in the government that issues it. Once the solvency of the issuer is in doubt, anyone holding its notes will quickly try to trade them in for dollars, jewelry, or failing that, some commodity with enduring value. When the ruble collapsed in 1998, some factory workers in Russia were paid in pickles. Why then are Somali shillings issued in the name of a government that ceased to exist long ago and backed up by no reserves of any kind still in use? Now, Max, one of the reasons they give, this is in The Economist, is that the supply of shillings has remained fairly fixed. Rival warlords issued their own shillings for a while, and there are a fair number of fakes in circulation. But the lack of an official printing press able to expand the money supply has given the pre-1992 shilling a certain cachet.
Well, that's right. The main component in any economy is trust. And the shilling has enough trust so that in Somalia, what you're saying here, has a stable economy based on a stable currency. Whereas in the U.S. or the Bank of Japan or the U.K., it's completely unstable because the currency is incredibly volatile because people don't trust these government central planners at all.
Well, you identify a key word there, it's just trust. And here the central banks I just listed, they think they could command and control. They can force you to trust when there is no trust in the system. Why would you trust any derivative product from JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs? Why would you trust any of these debts, that any of them are payable? Why would you trust to ever work and pay your taxes again when, as we see in Ireland, when people are refusing to pay their tax, it's just being transferred directly to a small group of bankers? Now, the Economist article brings up this issue of trust and says the shilling has a further source of strength. Since each party to a transaction is likely to be able to place the other within Somalia's system of kinship, the shilling is underpinned by a strong social glue. Paper currencies always need tacit consent from their users that they will exchange bills for actual stuff. But in Somalia, this pact is rather stronger. An individual who flouts the system risks jeopardizing trust in both himself and his clan.
Right, so social cohesion begets trust, which begets a stable currency, which is the basis of a stable economy. In the U.S., you have social cohesion breaking down. People see guys like Jamie Dimon, Lloyd Blankfein, kleptocratically raking the economy over the coals, stealing billions, no penalties whatsoever. Instead of trusting the currency in America, the reaction now is to arm themselves, to get ready for the coming war. But they don't trust the currency, so they're out there buying guns en masse.
This is another interesting thing here, Max. There are forgeries, but many accept the risk of holding a few fakes as a cost of doing business. Shillings are often handed over in thick bundles of 100 notes. By this alchemy, an imitation of a thing, which is already of notional value, turns out to be worth something. So even forgeries in Somalia, because of the trust implied within the clan system, even the forgeries have more faith in backing them than what the European Union currency, the euro, has.
That's right. You can have an economy like this in Somalia with shillings and have a small percentage of the currency, fake, counterfeit currency, and it gets all kind of baked into the cake, and it's not really a big problem. Contrast that with the United States, where it's almost all forgery. It's almost all counterfeit. It's 99% counterfeit, and then there's a very small percentage of business that's done using gold, silver, and other means of barter. But for the most part, it's 99% counterfeit. The U.S. dollar is a counterfeit currency. It's backed by nothing. They print trillions and trillions of it to cover the banking crimes. Trust is evaporating. Social cohesion is evaporating. And Somalia is putting America to shame.